working as it should. I tried streaming with OBS, but I ran into the same issue where I couldn't go down the screen, and I don't know why that is. I'll look into that after. We don't have much time because in less than really an hour, I need to start getting ready for work. But in the meantime, all right, yeah. Okay, not a huge fan of that background thing, but that'll just be for now. See if the audio is working. Probably is. After, yeah, we're good. All right. Anyways, as I said in my community tab, one day, really, I think before, yeah, this was before Lost Records put out tape 2. I said that before I make my Lost Records video, I want to go over this nonsense because I think it would be fun. I've seen other people go over it, and I just want to add my own 2 cents. If you're familiar with my video of reacting to the Rolling Stones top 100 games list, this is going to be kind of the same, but with more, I don't know how, I guess, intelligent commentary. Because, yeah, this, it's funny because, like, looking at this, if I was to look at this list when I was, about maybe like 2 years ago, yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, whenever I used to buy into this nonsense, and I didn't even know what this nonsense really was at the time, I don't think I would have fell for it then, and I'm not gonna fall for it now, because, like, in certain aspects, it makes, okay, yeah, you know, I can understand why someone would be offended by this, but then there's like a whole other side of things where, first off, my main issue with woke in general is that there's 2 specific groups for the anti-woke crowd, and it causes problems for the actual whenever you're deciding what something's that's woke, because there's a good example of this where you have one side that are mostly incels and don't like women being powerful in any particular way in their games, whether it be the main character, some badass side character. They don't want that. But then you have the other side where they're for women, but only if they're attractive. So then it's like, okay, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, like it's very complicated, because we're going to be getting into this. You're going to be like, wait, attractive character, wait, DEI character, wait, powerful female combatants. Like, what? Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Some of these, actually, probably the majority of these games I have not played, but I have a brain to understand what, you know, like what's an issue and what's not an issue, and I'm pretty sure that most of this stuff isn't even going to really be an issue at the end of the day. But it's funny it's funny, and it's going to be fun to pick at this. Like I said, we're going to basically go for, like, for me, it's going to be Eastern Standard Time. So as soon as it's 1, my alarm's going to go off, and then then the stream's going to have to end, because, yeah, I got to get ready for work. I was planning on streaming the rest of Lost Records, but and today was supposed to be like a day that I had a day off, but then I was called in, so yeah, you know, whatever. All right, let's get started. Yeah, so Monster Hunter Wilds, overly pro DEI, which is like at the end of the day, you know, DEI is literally, it was the whole thing is like hiring. It has nothing to really do with the actual game itself. So when they say like DEI characters, it's like, yeah, inclusion of any race, sexuality, gender that isn't the typical white male is pretty much DEI. So you got to keep that in mind. That's one of the dumbest arguments. Pro climate action. I don't understand why people are so against environmental change. And subtly pro LGBTQ. Okay, but here's the thing. Even if we got rid of this and we had still subtly pro LGBTQ, do you think the game would still be woke, or do you think the game would be slightly woke? We're gonna keep that in mind whenever we get down the list. We got pro-immigration, which I really don't know what the hell that means. That just sounds racist as hell. But yeah, for the most part, we're not going to be checking out these reviews, because do you really want to listen to some nonsensical person explain their answers for this? It won't make sense. And you're like, oh, you see the one side. Yeah, but like, this is just common sense. How does this affect the game in any way, really? You know, like, I thought you were playing the game for escapism. You're not playing the game because you're focusing on every single political messaging in the damn game. It's not shoved in your face. It's just like you play, you fight monsters. I don't know what the hell Monster Hunter is, but yeah, I feel like I'm hitting it on the nose. We got Marvel Spider-Man 2, so I wonder if the original Marvel Spider-Man is going to be on this list. Again, contain overly pro DEI. Like, so again, representation of any kind, check. Pro LGBTQ, I don't know, like, probably like gay characters, I'm guessing. Any gay character is considered pro LGBTQ, so if there's a gay in it, it's bad. Overly anti-gun, you're Spider-Man. What the hell what game do you think we're playing? The Punisher? Obviously you're pro anti-gun. You're a superhero. Most superheroes are anti-gun. And we got pro-abortion messaging, which I read what they were meaning by that. But at the same time, you know, it's like, that's one of those controversial subjects where there's still, like, some nuance to it. There is, like, more to it than just, like, they're killing babies. And then we got, all right, so, again, over anti-capitalism. Yes, capitalism's bad. Pro LGBTQ messaging. Again, probably some gay characters. Features multiple, yeah, see, there we go. Features multiple characters, okay. Including Bliss, who now identifies as non-binary and uses they and them pronouns. I really don't understand that point. You know, like, when I think of RPGs, I always thought about pronouns. Like, you're making a character, you should be able to choose whatever pronouns you want, you know? I've always thought about that when it came to RPG games. That was before I even found out about woke. That's one of those things that I can always considered about RPG games in general, especially with like Fallout. The next one, yeah, subtly anti-patriarchy. Yes, patriarchy's bad. Warlock is referred to using an NPC calls the Holy Union rules patriarchal garbage. As far as I know, they are supposed to be the bad guy in the game, so I don't know what you mean by that. Contains overly pro, no distinction between male and female gators. Okay, this is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard, because I could have sworn, and someone also mentioned it, I'm pretty sure in some RPG games, it was never just male and female. There was option 1, option 2. Hell, I know in browser games that was an option then, and no one cared. But because they have to weaponize that as some sort of, like, I don't know, non-binary, transgender, LGBTQ representation is bullshit. That stuff was in games from, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was in Skyrim, and that was always used in, like, I remember that being used in, like, browser games, mobile games. It's not really a big deal. And that was, at that time, and in general, it has nothing to do with LGBTQ. If this is supposed to be a game where you create your own character, yes, you should be able to have that option. It doesn't change anything. So again, they're just weaponizing it for the sake of weaponizing it. Keep driving, yeah, pro, yep. Yeah. See, A and B. Again, like I said, other games had that. Friggin' browser games had that. It was never always just male and female. There were other games that had that. Messaging uses a body type slider instead of a clear male. Other games had that too. Other fucking games had that. I don't know which games. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, I mean, I played a lot of video games in my time. So really, either maybe shovelware games had that, but like some forgotten games that no one talks about. I'm pretty sure one of those games has had that. And I don't know I can't think of off the top of my head which games, but I know that I played a game where it was like where it was using body types as like, like the big like muscular male or just like the skinny generic female character. I know for a fact that I played a game with that. All right, and then oh yeah, you want to play Lonely Mountains Downhill? Some probably it looks. I'm gonna take a guess and say this is like one of those. What's the name of that game? Like the game with like the stunt devil. It's a mobile game, but you can also get it on console. I'm gonna take it's one of those games where it's like like a side scrolling like biking game. I don't know what you call those games. And then here we get into the dumb shit, like Metal Slug. Pro DI messaging. I need to look up when Metal Slug actually came out, because the original is slightly woke. But I'm pretty sure that these games, like, can I check the years of each release? I'm going to check the years of each release. I remember loving this game as a kid. And I had paid no attention. I paid zero attention to like whatever this big supposed controversy is with having female combatants. Like, you do know that there are plenty of other games with female combatants, and I'm guessing those games are considered woke because you can't have female combatants. That's what I'm gathering from this. All right, Metal Slug game series, games. Yes, okay, here we go. So the origin. Oh, really? I thought that these games were. Okay, yeah. Now we're getting. This is weird. So like the original Metal Slug was 1996, and then I guess the rest of these were. Okay, so like the first one is Tactics. Okay, that's 2024. These must be like quote unquote reboots. Wait, but Metal Slug 2. Hang on a second. But Metal Slug 2 came out in 1998. Wait, hold on a sec. Oh, wait, this doesn't make any sense. So because that there's NPC female combatants, it means that that's woke. But having a female player character option, that is slightly woke. So what the hell? You just want to play as a female character, but you don't want to have a female character that's not playable? That's what I'm gathering from this bullshit. Makes absolutely zero sense. Alright. I get to Dredge. Out of place diversity in what appears to be the 20th century. Bruh. It's a fictional it's a fictional form of media. Have you ever watched like something like I don't even know any examples. But like when I think of like movies from like Mystery Science Theater 3000 with like the sci-fi 50s stuff, I'm sure that there's some sort of out of place diversity in a movie like that. So shut up. Odd Sparks, yeah, no distinction between male and female character creation. Again, so many games have had that. You're just now considering that woke? Like, that was a thing before woke was even a thing. Yeah, anti-family messaging. Again, the anti-family messaging, I'm guaranteed that has something to do with a storyline about abusive household. I'm just gonna take a guess and say that is probably the case, because I don't understand. Like, clearly, their family has to be a bad person if there's quote unquote anti family messaging. Unless you're supposed to be a rebellious kid or a rebellious teenager, that would also make sense. But really, those two, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Life is Strange Before the Storm would be considered that. But you're playing as a friggin' rebellious teen. Like, obviously, it's gonna be anti-establishment because you're an angsty teen. It's just it's so stupid when you think so deep into this stuff. And then we got Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs came out in 2014. It wasn't considered woke then, but now it's considered woke. Pro-immigration messages. Again, you're racist. Features and okay, and this is the one that I'd really because that there's a random side character that's a female Canadian immigrant that makes the game woke. Again, 2014, mind you. Okay, Portal Knights, yeah, Rainbow Flag furniture item was automatically given to anyone with the mailbox. It's free to gift during September. Okay, yeah, because that's a modern game. But if that wasn't a modern game, would it still be considered woke if it had nothing to do with gay pride? That's what I wonder. All right, we have Slightly Woke. The player character is mistaken for a pretty girl. Bro, this shit has been in media as old as time, where really any boy with long hair would be, some people would mistaken as a girl. You can't tell me, bruh. So, that's, oh my god. Yeah, Neverwinter has always been a name that I've heard. The Doom of Iceland includes a character named Captain Alder, who mentioned she has a wife. Again, slightly woke because representation of LGBTQ+. Okay, this is probably... Alright, oh wait, no, this is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Never mind. So with this... And Pro DEI, bro, are we going back to like, what's that game? It wasn't Neverwinter. Was it Neverwinter? Or was it Myth? I think the game was called Myth. Or if we're going back to like, was it Myth? It might have been Myth, because I have that friggin' old video game documentary, and there's a specific game. I don't think it was Neverwinter, but it came out during the Xbox era, I believe, like the original Xbox. And when I think about the fantasy characters in that game, I'm pretty sure they would consider that woke. And then over anti-Western society messaging, it's primarily a history. I don't know what, I'm just judging by the cover art, but like some medieval a medieval fantasy game. Whatever you want to include, like some medieval history stuff in there. Yeah, obviously that's going to have anti-Western society messaging. Freedom Wars. Unlike the original, this remaster uses a body... Okay, shut the hell up. Voice options also use Type A. Again, not new. Contains overly... aliens, non-binary uses... homosexual romance option. I wonder if Saints Row 4 is considered that, even though that they literally had the gay and lesbian stuff in there as a joke for the Mass Effect romance parody. Ruthless or Dead, anti-overly fan. Again, probably has something to do with the story. Contains subtly the player character is a female police officer in 1999. Bro. In 1999, there were female police officers. Hell, I'm pretty sure there were friggin' police officers in Police Academy. What are you talking about? Okay, and who cares if all the zombies are male? There are plenty of other games with zombies that most of the characters are male. You just want that as an excuse to kill a woman. Contains overly pro DII. Unlike the original, this remake, I don't care. And yeah, multiple characters have been censored. What? All right. Well, that means probably the overly sexualized characters have probably got it toned down so they're not overly sexual looking, which, I don't care about that stuff. Most people that only care about that stuff watch porn. Contains overly anti-Western society, pro-communism. Again, it probably has some. There are plenty of games that have that in them. It's not nothing special. Contains overly out of place diversity in 1930s setting. Judging by the art style of this game, I don't think you're supposed to be taking that shit seriously. Bloomtown, anti-patriarchy. Again, patriarchy is bad. Subtle anti-family, and pro-messaging. I don't know what this is, but I'm pretty sure that game would not hurt a fly. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Messaging features multiple flamboyantly characters. I drawn experience according to the series creator. Bro, have you ever watched an anime? Because there are a lot of feminine male characters in anime. I don't know about. I'm not familiar with JoJo, but I'm sure that's probably not out of place. Yesterday, director's cut, anti-Republican, slightly pro-immigration message. Well, dude, that just seems like that's the point of the game. I feel literally you can't make games nowadays without being political. And almost most games with substance have political messaging in them, whether they're shoved in your face or not, as clear. We got contains pro-climate action, pro-communism, Western society messaging. Again, most media has this stuff. Contains overly pro messaging, multiple pride flag visors in the exos. Okay, again, it's probably, and this I would argue is probably made by someone who either grew up with someone and knows someone, or even a family member that's a part of the community, or they're either an ally or they're a part of the community. So in that case, fuck you if you want to put that on it. Yeah, they're making a game for those people, so shut up. Contains overly pro DI, features a story about depression. Okay, now we get to somewhere. What the fuck is this? Please tell me how representation of depression, mental illness, and suicide, which has been in fucking media forever, is considered woke. Please tell me how this is considered woke. And I remember I referred back to this when it came to my was it the last video? Yeah, it was the video. When I was talking about the choice-based story game genres, and I compared it to it's very it's pretty much the same as the emo subculture, and this is literally the emo subculture. So yeah, obviously it's woke, but at the same time woke. So you're saying that you don't want media to shine a light on issues. Well, yeah, they're basically saying they don't want media to shine light on issues with society. Doesn't matter how many people decide to end their lives in a year. Not having media that it's better to not have media that showcase that this is something. It's better to keep those people in the dark. So what I'm gathering is that you're saying woke is basically hide it inside, don't let anybody know, but also you're considered weak if you end your life. So that really doesn't make sense. We got Arkham Knight. Getting married to her female fiance. I don't. That was probably just put in there. Militia, half male civil rights lawyer. Well, civil rights. It's fucking Batman. You need to have You need to have someone like that in a game about Batman. But also having represent. Wait, this doesn't make sense. This is slightly woke, probably because the person likes this video game. They're only calling it slightly woke because there are other games that are considered full on woke for having representation of LGBTQ. Period. but also the civil rights lawyer. Like, what the hell are you on about? It's a superhero game. You need a civil rights lawyer. Oh, what? Do you want a female civil rights lawyer? Like, why is it like, bruh? Okay. Hunt Showdown, out of place diversity in the late 19th century. Improbable female black and immigrant bounty hunters. Improbable. Bruh. You need to read a history book because I guarantee there has been bounty hunters of all kinds. As for the LGBTQ stuff, I'm sure history does date back to a longer than this specifically that had showcased that there were people. Well, when I mean people, I don't know like which exactly representation, but I'm gonna say gay, female. If they're talking about trans stuff, I'm sure there's also history that dates back to that. You need to read a history book because people that make this stuff don't know shit about anything. They don't know shit about history, and they especially don't know anything about media in general. All right, next is Monument Valley 2. Again, pro climate action. Yes, we should protect the environment. Its Dream DLC was made a part of a partnership with the Project Red Charity. Okay, well, now I need to find out what Red Charity is. Clear trees. Sorry, having mostly female leaders. Bullshit. There are people that consider games woke just for having females that are like can do stuff better than men. So shut up about that because you're lying. Clear cutting trees without planting trees in their place is bad. Yes, that is also considered woke. Shut up because you're fucking lying. If these are only faults of the game, it should be ruled as not woke. Bullshit. You like this game. Just say that you like this damn game. Play a suitable person plays the forest to be set in old Persia. You know the place where they force hijab son women now? Bro, you can't spell. This makes it an acrostic and out of place woman power messaging. Exactly. But but it sounds like to me that women power messaging was already in the game, but you said, oh, it wasn't woke, but what? And also, in case the virus are warning, a true woke tag backcasting much diversity and sleeping the game. Okay, but no one mentioned. They said the Red Charity, but I don't know what the Red Charity is because they didn't expand upon it. So I don't know what Red Charity is. It's probably gonna be it's probably something that helps someone, but not these idiots. War Thunder. War Thunder is slightly woke. What? Oh well, that's why because there's a specific aircraft that's piloted by an all-female crew. So just by that standard, it's considered woke. But bruh, that stuff does exist in the real world. Also, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even have to be based on the real world. You can have that shit in a game. Hell, like it seems like to me that you only want males playing video games, and I know that that's the case for most people. They just want males to play. They just want only male-centered video games, and that's what I'm gathering from this. Decal depicting fictional female Jays. Again, I don't know about that stuff, but I do know for a fact that it is absurd to get mad at a game for having an all-female pilot crew. Because oh yeah, and by the way, that's slightly woke. However, having female combatants in Metal Slug, fully woke. Clearly, what I'm gathering is that you don't like Metal Slug, but you like War Thunder. That's what I'm gathering from this. Because a lot of the main issue with this website in general is that it just goes against what it already said. And that's what pisses me off, and that's what's annoying about this. Watch Dogs 2, I knew it, obviously. I didn't know about Miranda Kame, because I just like the game for the world. But yeah, obviously it's pro LGBTQ. You're in San Francisco. That's like a no brainer. Contains overly anti-free speech. Anti-free speech. Bullshit. I'm guessing what you're saying is you're banning slurs or banning any sort of offensive messaging towards specific groups of people. That's what you mean by anti-free speech. We got pro-communism messaging. I don't know about that. And yeah, see, there we go. Terms and phrases deemed politically incorrect. Exactly. If you're trying to offend a person of a specific group, that's not anti-free speech. That's anti-hate speech. And I remember this game, Victory Heat Rally. Pro DEI messaging and probably diverse cast. Wait, improbably is such a stupid word. 12 drivers, 6 are male and 6 are female. 1 is Latino and 1 is black. Bruh, it's a racing game. And more than likely, I'm going to gather that this is a racing game centered around different parts of the world. So shut up about this improbable diverse cast. Obviously, like in movies, when it comes to racing, it's always like, oh, like, like the Italian is like the best driver because he drives the Ferrari, and it's not the American from Texas, or it's like, or then you have like the I don't know, like Latino girl that like destroys everybody. Like that stuff has been in media, and I'm gathering you don't like that in media because that's what this screams out. But also, like, bruh, this is a good racing game from what I've heard, and you're only calling it woke because, again, the diverse cast of characters. Like, shut up. Because you said, like, the dumb shit about what's considered slightly woke and whatever's woke, this is considered slightly woke. If I knew any better to rank this stuff, because, we go back to, like, what was it, like, again, it's all because you don't like the game. You're only considering this game woke because you don't like the game. You're not going to play the game. That's the only reason why it's considered woke. Because games that you've already considered slightly woke are more woke than this game. And we got House Flipper 2. Option for they, them. Enable presets instead of clear male, female distinction. I don't know. Like, when it comes to pro LGBTQ messaging, like, what? Like, decorations or something? Oh, wait, no, not... because they're basing this off, like, something that's, like, it doesn't affect the game. I can't really call this stupid because it doesn't affect the game. It's only considered woke because you don't want to play the game. Contains overly pro-DI and overly anti-white messaging. Players referred to using they, them pronouns. Park Beyond messaging features and probably diverse cast. Again, I'm probably diverse cast characters. Shut up. That doesn't make any sense. Because basic representation of any kind is not allowed in these people's eyes. I don't know about the anti-white messaging, though. We need to double check that. Oh, never mind. There's no discussion about that. So therefore, the game is not woke because there's no discussion to be made. We got Dying Light 2. Multiple rainbow flags to be seen throughout the game. And LGBTQ NPCs. Whatever the hell. Doesn't offend me. I don't know why you're offended. Contains overly pro messaging. Features female frontline cadence. Again, just because you have female characters does not mean that the game's woke. And again, DI themed multiplayer emblems. Emblems. You're offended by fucking emblems. This reminds me of the whole thing with like the damn pride, like anything to do with pride calling cards in Call of Duty. Like, dude, like, shut up. Like, it has nothing to do with the damn game. It's just there. And then we got all the Assassin's Creeds that are woke for... The only one that we're just going to, like... So first off, we have the diversity disclaimer. So basically they're saying that just so you know, guys, this game was worked on people of different cultures and different races, and that is considered woke. Just by that alone, which is really stupid. And then we also have, yeah, exactly, same thing here, like a team of various religious faiths and beliefs. Again, that's literally what's said in the damn disclaimer. Uh, yeah, it's literally, that's all it is. So, these games are considered woke just because of the disclaimer. Keep that in mind. A fucking disclaimer makes these games automatically woke. This person doesn't like Assassin's Creed. I don't even like Assassin's Creed. But the fact that they're considering a game specifically woke because of a disclaimer is absolutely insane. Old age piracy, the NPC Mary Reed engages in cross-dressing. Again, it doesn't bother me, so why does it bother you? Player... Okay, here we go. This is the big one here. So, guys, they're saying that slavery isn't bad. The player character is an improbable WOC assassin. Again, assassins were there were female assassins through history who fights to free slaves in French Louisiana. Because a female is fighting to free slavery, that is considered woke. Well, are there any other examples where a male fights to free slavery? Because I'm pretty sure that would also still be considered woke because you're freeing slavery. I don't know what the discussion is there exactly. I don't know if it's because it's a female doing it or if it's just two things that they don't like. Exactly. See, there are female assassins. And because there are female assassins, it's considered woke. Even though this is considered to be one of the best video games on the PlayStation era. Assassin's Creed, sorry, mind you, that was Assassin's Creed 2. Brotherhood's good, but it's not as good as Assassin's Creed 2. And and then we go to like Homefront: The Revolution. Like, if you know about that, like literally any Revolution stuff, I'm pretty sure Far Cry 5 is going to be considered woke. But literally, wait a second. Features multiple female. It's woke because So we got anti-Western society messaging. So literally any story about rebellions fighting against corporations, the government, all that is considered woke. But it's also considered woke because there are, again, female combatants, including a victim of sexual abuse and a black female engineer. Wow. It's considered woke because you have a female that is a victim of abuse, but it's also considered woke because you have a black female engineer. Jeez, that is, wow. Okay, and then we got the normal Homefront, anti-Western society, and overly portrays the U.S. and its allies. This game came out in, 2010? Friggin' arsonists get all the girls have a song on this, as the soundtrack on this song. On this game. You're telling me that in the era of friggin' arsonists get all the girls, this game is considered woke. Portrays the U.S. and its allies as weaker than North Korea. Again, you can have your own storylines when it comes to like the war stuff. You like your Call of Duty. Obviously, you're not gonna like it's the same. It's literally just discount Call of Duty, and the game's not even good. Contains overly features female. Again, so having playable female characters is considered woke, or just having them fight in battle in general is considered woke. Several of whom are. Oh, wow, you can't even have female special forces operators. Okay, but then Call of Duty Ghost is woke because you can play as a female character in multiplayer, and this random minor NPC character is a female astronaut with a submachine gun. I thought you liked women and guns. Why is that considered slightly woke? But like also, you're literally saying that so any game that you play as a female character, I'm considering is to be woke. But any game that you can optionally play as a female character, that's considered slightly woke. Huh? I got Far Cry 4. Again, just having any like leadership that's leaders that are women, or having women fighting in general with their own like rebellious group is considered woke, bruh. Um, and then we got Tomb Raider, anti-male, anti-patriarchy. Again, anti-patriarchy is not a bad thing. And for Tomb Raider, I remember when I saw I would always watch the review for this game. And I always wanted to play it, but then I just didn't like it. I tried to get in this game very young, and it was like, yeah, because you have to consider that was like, what, 2011, 2012? Because I thought, oh, it's just like Uncharted, and it was not like Uncharted. And, like, this is one of those things that, like, I can understand some people will like, some people won't like, but not for those reasons specifically. Some people will like the game because, it's, like, and it's an impactful story, and other people won't like the game because they're used to having a female badass character who still looks very relatively attractive, if I may add. Anyways, we got, oh yeah, so then we have a really stupid thing. Again, there were black cops in the 1999. Have you ever watched The Crow? Have you ever watched Die Hard? Are you insane? I'm surprised that no one decided. Well, there's probably discourse about this, but I'm surprised no one decided to add this. Like, dude, have you seen Die Hard? There was a freaking. That's a great example of media that had black cops, and even like Police Academy, I'm pretty sure had a black cop in it too. So like, what do you mean out of place diversity? Yeah, Dutch gang members during Gun Runner's Paradise. I don't know what that. Wait. Yeah. So just having black police officers in general is considered woke. Silent Hill 2. I've never played Silent Hill 2, but like, I don't know what you expect. I'm pretty sure that's like the whole point of the game. And then we have Star Wars Battlefront 2. Bro, like, I'm pretty sure in every Star Wars game there were female frontline combatants. Pretty sure. Campaign player character is an Imperial Special Force commander who is a woman of color. Oh no. Why? Why is that a problem? I don't get it. Need for Speed Payback. This one's a weird one. It's a friggin' racing game. And, like, have you watched Fast and Furious? There's a diverse cast in Fast and Furious. You have the Asian guy. Isn't there an Asian girl, too? So, like, what do you mean? Yeah, I got Prototype 2, because you can't have a sequel with replacing a white person with a person of color. That's literally it. That's literally it. And then we got subtly anti-family messaging in Prototype. Bruh, Prototype is, I've never played Prototype, but I know a lot of people like the game. The gameplay looks pretty cool. And the overall, like, story-wise, I'd say, like, that's the least of your concern. I'm pretty sure there's more stuff. Again, they're calling it slightly woke because they're afraid to admit that they like the game. Curse of the Dead. Overlord. Orcs Must Die. Again, like, when you look at the list of what's considered not woke, even though there is woke elements in these games, if you, take the time and look deeply in them, you'll notice that most games that are considered not woke aren't as fun as the games that are considered woke. Mortal Kombat. It's a fighting game. Who the hell cares? Cleopatra. that would be considered woke because you are playing as a woman in power. You stupid morons. Middle Earth Shadow Mordor. It's a fantasy game. You can have a female frontline combatant. Like, shut up. Geometry Dash is considered woke. Oh, wait, that doesn't, no, you can't do that. You cannot. Bruh. In this case, I'm pulling the ESRB thing. Just because you go on, so if you purchase a rated E for everyone game that has online multiplayer, and your online multiplayer contains things that aren't a part of the everybody rating, they're not responsible for that. In the same way that Geometry Dash shouldn't be labeled as woke because the original game doesn't consider any woke elements, but you're basing this on user created levels. So that means any game with any sort of creation system is considered woke. I would consider Mod Nation Racers. Just picking games that I like. I would label. I mean, Mod Nation Racers. Hell, probably even Roblox. Hell, well, Roblox shouldn't count. Roblox is a game engine, but like Mod Nation Racers. Probably Little Big Planet Kart. Mario Maker. Hell, if we're even going, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's other games, but literally anything with a creation system. Hell, Hot Wheels. Friggin' Hot Wheels Unleashed. All this stuff can be considered woke. Just because people can put that in a game. That makes it woke. That's not how it works, guys. If it's not made by the developer, it shouldn't be in discussion. It's simple as that. Planet Crafter. Again, like, I don't, like, in order for games to be interesting, you have to have some sort of political messaging in them. Because otherwise, then it's like, you can have fun. There are games with fun gameplay, and that's it. And there are games with fun gameplay and a story that make the game replayable. Then you have the games that are just, have a good story, but the gameplay sucks, and it's like you need something. And at this point, it's like, there are certain things that are off the table. And anything that is against right wing is considered off the table. Beastie Ball. Section include an option. Alright, I'm ending the stream. I will, when I'm done work late tonight. So either I'm going to try to finish Lost Records tonight, or I'm just going to finish Lost Records tomorrow. In terms of streaming, that's what's